Well, that's normal, okay? That's just intraday trading. There's always buyers and sellers. Hi everyone, what's going on? My name's Jamie Palmer and welcome to another episode with the thebinarydestroyer 8.0. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about market manipulation and does it actually happen? Now this is a very controversial subject. It's going to divide a lot of opinions because trading involves money, which involves emotion, and with trading itself, there are millions of different ways to trade. There's millions of different strategies and there's millions of different ways to teach people to trade. You know, everyone sees the market slightly different. Everyone has different opinions on this subject and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think there's some key fundamentals in trading that people are getting misled about. Now, to explain this, we're going to be going over a few setups that I've been taking recently or this week on USDJPY. I've literally been taking buys and sells at the same time on this currency pair. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, it's actually quite mind-blowing and I want to break it down for you now. I'll actually show you, if you follow my Instagram story, just reading this, there's a BD member that has just passed the FTMO challenge. Look at this, okay? I just passed my 10% today. The only problem I have is that I made it in 4 days rather than 5. So that's incredible. BD member just passed the FTMO. But yeah, if you follow my Instagram stories, okay, you will know that I've been selling USDJPY and buying it all week. So as you can see here, these are my results so far this week here. Holding for the drop. So just watch this. USDJPY and then it drops. And then again, I've been holding USDJPY all day. Had an awesome day riding the trend. And again, look at that nice little drop there. Now, let's break it down for you now. Trading itself. Let's break it down to the raw candlestick structure of currency pairs. Now, to do this, you have to remember that currency pairs only move from people buying and people selling it. That's the only time or the only way you can move currency pairs, if you buy it or if you sell it. So, you know, if price is going up like this, it means there's a lot of buy orders in the market. There's a lot of traders buying currency pairs. Now, eventually, this currency pair is going to come up to a level. It's going to come up to a resistance area or structure or demand zone, whatever you want to call it. And sellers are going to start placing sell orders or sell trades, okay? And when that volume of sell orders gets greater than buy orders, eventually that currency pair is starting to go down, okay? That is really how you move currency pairs. It's the only way you can do it. Now, there is another slight way you can do it, and that is actually market manipulation, but through a broker. Now, I can't remember what it is. I think it's A-list or B-list brokers. But basically, the way brokers work is you have a liquidity provider at the top, you have a broker in the middle, and you have us, the traders, at the bottom. The liquidity provider provides all the data to the broker in the middle, and then the broker provides that data to us lot where we place trades. Now, what a broker will do, normally it's an unregulated broker, they will manipulate the price on their charts or on their platforms to take their own traders out. Okay, so if I place a trade, they move the currency pair and they'll take me out. I lose the trade, broker makes the money. Now, they're not actually moving or physically moving currency pairs. They're only moving the price of it on their platform, okay? Now, they rarely actually do that, okay? They wouldn't do that if they're regulated because, again, if you're a regulated broker, you would have to provide certain data to the regulator, and manipulating price is a big no-no. They would get fined massively. Also, if brokers are found manipulating price, you know, traders like myself are not going to use them. So it's very rare that they will actually manipulate price so their own traders lose, okay? If it's an unregulated broker, it can actually happen because there's no regulation, you know, enforcing that. There is another way as well, and that is between fundamental traders, institutional companies, okay? Now, there is not one single entity or institutional company that has enough buying power to move currency pairs. Institutional companies, if they want to move currency pairs, okay, they have to actually team up together. They have to actually team up, talk to each other, and move price in the direction they want it to. Now, that rarely actually happens. And if they do, it's normally big news, big headlines, and they get fined millions of pounds if they're caught doing it. So that actually rarely actually happens. Another thing, institutional companies don't actually tend to trade currency pairs. Banks, institutionals don't tend to trade currency pairs. And the reason for that is because there's not a lot of volatility and movement on currency pairs. They tend to trade stocks, commodities, indices. Now, to show you this is look at USD-CAD, right? USD-CAD, this is the monthly time frame. And look how much USD-CAD moved last month. 447 pips. The month before that, USD-CAD moved about 300 and about 400 pips. That is not a lot of movement. They get a lot more movement in indices and stocks, and that's where institutions and banks tend to place their trades on stocks and commodities. They rarely look at currency pairs. Now, $5.5 trillion is traded on the foreign exchange every single day. How much of that money do you think is retail money? 10%, 15%, 20%? No, 3 to 5%. That means 96% of the money traded every single day is institutional money. Do you genuinely think that we are providing liquidity to these institutional companies? No. We're not even on their radar. We're like a tiny fish in the pond. So when you see price being rallied up like this here, and you see these large spikes, and you're saying, well, that's the banks manipulating the market because they need to take retail traders out, because if they don't, they can't take their own trades. Do you genuinely think the likes of JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, they need us to provide liquidity for them? No, right? We're not providing any liquidity at all. When you look at, to give an example, right, look at this resistance area here, right? You can call it what you want, resistance area, demand zone, structure. When price goes up here and comes down, that is not retail money, right? That's institutional money doing that. Okay, a lot of traders out there saying, well, that's a retail way of trading because it's a resistance area. That's a retail ray. Okay, no, that's banks moving that price, right? We only control 3 to 5% of the market, right? 96% is institutional money. It's institutional money that is doing that. Okay. And it's just simple resistance area. Now, to explain this better, I want to break down USDJPY now and how I've been managing to take buys and sells on this all week, and it's actually phenomenal. Okay, so let's break down USDJPY now using pure price action, pure candlestick analysis. Now, you have to remember one thing. Currency pairs are moving from people buying it and people selling it. It's the only way you can move currency pairs. So what we need to do now is figure out where these buyers are going to buy and where these sellers are going to sell. So if we could quickly look at USDJPY on the daily time frame, we've come up to this area here and bounced off it. Now, why did this happen? This isn't market manipulation. This isn't, institutional companies driving price up and then driving it down. There's a reason why this happened. Now, if I just draw an area here, like here now, and go over to, let's have a look at the monthly time frame. And lo and behold, we come up to the monthly time frame and we have an area of resistance. In fact, you might be able to see it off the weekly time frame. Okay, bring it down a little bit more. And there we go there. Okay, we have got this area. Just bring it down slightly there. We have an area of resistance. Touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there, touch there. maybe even a touch there to the upside. We've definitely got some kind of little movement here. You'll probably see this little move here on the daily time frame. Let's have a look at the daily time frame. Okay, look here. You see that touch there? You see the break and retouch there. And again, nice little touch there, touch there, touch there. So, and a touch there, and a touch there. So as you can see here, when we go back over to the daily, all that price has done has come up to this resistance area, and there are a lot of sellers selling here. Okay, a lot of sellers have sold here and are now driving this price down. Okay, now let's break it down even further and explain how I managed to take buys and sells at the same time. So as price come down now, so we've got this big sell-off here, it is in fact now created a new low. So if I just mark up this area just here, and notice how we've gone lower. So see how we've just created a new low on the daily time frame on USDJPY. So price has come up. A lot of sellers are now come into play here and driven the price down and now created a new low. See how it's lower? You'll probably see it better on the 4 hour. See how we've now gone lower. See again how we've gone lower. See how this low, oh, there we go. Hold on. See how this low here is lower than this one. If I just bring this across like here, it's lower. Yeah? And a lot of sellers, a lot of traders are thinking, let's go over to the daily time frame. And they're looking at this now and thinking, this could be a big move to the downside. And if we actually break it down further, we actually have a break and retouch of a structure on the resistance. So this is breaking it pure down to structure and candlestick analysis. So what we actually have here is we have a monthly resistance area at the top, which I've just explained to you now. And if we go down to the daily time frame, we've done a break, we've done a come down here, created a new low, because remember this low is lower than this one. We've come back up and we are now bouncing off this area here, which as you can see here is a touch, and a touch as well. This is actually a real perfect break and retouch. This is basically a break and retouch of a structure, and we're going to drop down like this here. You probably see it better on the 4 hour, okay? Again, you can see that little structure there. See here? We've done a nice little break and retouch here, and it looks like we're going to break there. There's the previous support. There's the previous support. There's the previous support. And again there. So you can see here this nice little break and retouch here. So a lot of traders on the daily time frame now are selling USDJPY. They're selling it now for a sell trade, okay? And myself included. I'm selling USDJPY, and I believe, I mean, this is the daily candlestick, and it is going to close bearish. And in fact, I actually show you, I don't know if you will see this, I actually have open trades on, yeah, you can see here, I've got open sell positions on USDJPY. I've also got some running in the negative, because I believe over the next few days, USDJPY is going to come down because of a break and retouch, okay? That's what I believe. Now, at the same time as people are selling USDJPY on the daily time frame, there's people actually buying USDJPY on the intraday time frame. So let's look. Let me explain to you now. Let's look at the 1 hour. Okay, look at this here on the 1 hour. Look, see how price is bouncing off my resistance. Okay, so there's clearly a lot of sellers happening. There's clearly a lot of sellers selling here. Watch this on the 1 hour time frame. Okay. And to do this, I'm going to move this area just here and go back over to the daily time frame like this here. And I'm going to bring it up to this point just here. So let's just focus on, let's just first of all, to make it a little bit clear, move myself out of the way. Look at this area just here. Okay, look at this nice area of support. We've got a touch there, we've got a touch there. And we've got a touch here. See that just there? Now, believe it or not, look at this price. If I just zoom in now, this might seem a little bit complicated. I'm trying to make it as simpler as possible. let's look at this point just here. In fact, what I'll do is I'll make it just there. So there we go there. Let's just look at this point here. So this is on the 4-hour time frame. This is the same as the 1-hour time frame as well. It's just a lot clearer on the 4-hour. Look at this area of resistance here and this point here. Notice how price has, I'm just going to mark it up here as well. I'm going to mark up this support line just here. And notice how price was stuck in this little range here. I'll make this red so you can see. See how price has come down, pulled up, bounced off this resistance, come down, bounced off this support, come up, bounced off this resistance, come down, bounced back off this support here, and then broken this resistance area, come back down. Now, what do you think's happened right now as we've broken this resistance area here? And we're now bouncing off this support line. A lot of buys. There is a lot of buy trades happening right now on USD. I say right now, previously on USDJPY. So at this moment here, a lot of buyers thought, this is a break and retouch now to the upside, right? It's basically this, right? Price is broken to the upside, come back down, and it's going to do something like this. And there's a lot of buyers buying here. And what actually happened was price went rocketed straight up like this here. I actually looked at this and I thought, should I take a buy here? Because I knew this was going to happen, right? Because like I said, what you want to do to be a good trader is look where buyers and sellers are going to buy currency pairs. And this is a little perfect break and retouch to the upside. And what actually happened here was we actually had a break and retouch. Price went straight up and then came back down. Now, it came back down not because of manipulation. It's because on the daily time frame, there's people selling it, right? So like I said, when you break it, when you move your resistance here, we can see a sell trade. So what's actually happening here is on the intraday time frames, you've got people buying USDJPY. And on the daily time frame and weekly time frame, you've got people selling USDJPY. It's not market manipulation. It's just simple buyers and sellers. And eventually someone's going to win. Either the buyers are going to win or the sellers are going to win. Now, money flows from the higher time frame. So if you want to look where institutional companies are trading off, they're going to be trading off the higher time frames, okay? Because that's where big moves happen. And I generally believe that USDJPY over the next few days, I mean, look, this candlestick is closing red, right? And it's staying below. Look at, if you actually zoom in as well, right? Look how we are rejecting from this level here, right? So it tells me that there are a lot of sellers selling here, right? And I believe we're going to drive the price down. So I'm actually long-term sell on USDJPY. Obviously, if I'm trading the lower time frame, so the 1 hour or even the 30-minute time frame, you know, you bring up this area here, right? Where's that area? Just here, right? Look at this here. Even this nice little area here, and you've got a resistance, 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 and then you have this kind of, oh, hold on, I've just drawn that. Let me just move that slightly different because here we go here, okay? So what you've got here is, again, you've got a resistance area here, touch there. Prices come up, look here, bounced off support, come up, come down. So you've got on the 1 hour, on the 30 minutes, you've got buyers here on USDJPY, and obviously on the daily you've got sellers as well, okay? And again, what I'm trying to explain to you is I believe the word market manipulation is used far too often, right? Because the only way you can manipulate price is if you buy and sell. It's the only way you can move price, if you buy it and sell it. So you need to figure out why currency pairs are moving. You know, look at this big move up here, right? Why did this happen? Well, it happened because traders were seeing a break and retouch to the upside, okay? But why did then price suddenly come back down? Well, it came back down because on the daily, right, I'm seeing what, you know, other traders are seeing is a break and retouch to the downside, okay? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's going to win here. You know, I might win this trade, I might lose this trade. I believe I'm going to win it because, you know, it's a perfect break and retouch, and we've actually created a new low here as well. If you look here, right, we're actually breaking further down, right? So I believe we're going to go down. We might not. We might spike up a bit. If we spike up, it's just buyers taking over. But I'm holding my positions on USDJPY for a sell. And yeah, that's my take on USDJPY, and that's my take on market manipulation. I believe market manipulation and the word is used far too often. I believe rather than actually saying, oh, it's manipulation, look at these spikes, actually look at why the spikes are happening. Why, you know, price is suddenly going up and suddenly going down. You know, prices come up to this resistance area on the weekly time frame. So all that's happened here is that prices come up to this resistance area on the monthly, as I explained earlier, and more sellers came into play. And there will be, I believe me, there will be people on the monthly time frame looking at this now and thinking, we're going down. We're going down. You know, on the monthly time frame, we're going down. You know, and that's what I genuinely believe. I genuinely believe we're going down. But there will be people on the 1 hour time frame or the 30-minute time frame, like here, right? Look at the 30-minute time frame, okay? There's going to be people buying here. They're going to be people buying at this support line. They're just there. They're going to go, oh, look, we've got a support line on the 30-minute time frame and driving price up. Well, that's normal, okay? That's just intraday trading. There's always buyers and sellers. There's always liquidity in the market. You know, there's always enough liquidity for people to take trades. And I don't believe that they're manipulating price to take traders out, because there's enough liquidity for traders to buy and sell. There's always buyers and sellers at the same time. That's how you make money. You know, if I'm winning trades, someone's losing trades. And if someone's losing trades, I'm winning trades, right? It's how it happens. So yeah, my name's Jamie Palmer. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you have any questions, drop me an email at thebinarydestroyer@gmail.com.